Do not let the nightmares in. They underestimate your power and importance. We must find the Queen to help you unlock your mind. Now wake up!
Mario. Wake up, Mario. We've been waiting for you.
What happened?
We're here to help you. We are known as the Aishi.
If you're here to help me, then tell me what's going on. You told me to find the Queen. Where is the Queen? What's with the secrecy?
It was needed, Mario. The Queen must be protected. And you're now needed for an important quest. But do not worry. More questions will be answered soon. You must forgive our methods. But time is of the essence.
Okay. So then where can I find the Queen? Are you serious?
Welcome to the quest for the green ball! Òrdugh, Truaillidh! The first segment of divisional play is over, and there are many interesting results as we begin an ever-important stretch of games. This is where tiebreakers are won and where teams will either step up or crumble under pressure. Only one undefeated team remains, just one. Last year's Dick Butt Bandidos del Rio. 6 teams are just a game behind it, Bandidos as well at 2-1. And the top 3 finishers from a year ago, including my runner-up squad, a combined 1-8. And we also had 2 trades this past week by the 2 winless teams looking for any kind of spark to get back into the mix. Eric Jordan sent Debo Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, and Breece Hall to remember the Titans for Brandon Ayuk, Najee Harris, and Jackson Smith in Jigba. The defending champion Elite Mother Tucker sent wide receiver A.J. Brown to Bandidos del Rio for wide receiver Mike Evans and tight end Sam Laporta. The Mother Tuckers did still have A.J. Brown in the lineup for a road matchup against Green Acres, though, in our last... And this one was another thriller between these 2 new rivals at the bogs of Diamir-Acht. As expected, this one was a high-scoring game, and it came down to Monday night with Green Acres pulling off the second win in the last 3 tries against the defending champion Elite Mother Tuckers, 123.26 to 117. And one thing to note is that this one nearly went to the Elite Mother Tuckers with A.J. Brown, who finished with 131 yards, having 2 potential touchdown passes touch his fingertips before hitting the ground. If he catches one of those, it would have been enough for the Elite Mother Tuckers, but not this time. The star for Green Acres was the Buffalo defense, which almost pitched a shutout and allowed just 3 points. The Bills had 9 sacks, 4 picks, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill also did his thing with 157 yards and a touchdown for a lethal Miami offense. Deshaun Watson joined the party with a couple of TDs. But besides kicker Jake Moody also reaching 10 points with 3 field goals and some extra points, the rest of the team actually didn't do that spectacular. The elite Mother Tuckers had one big game by Justin Herbert, who had 405 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Zach Moss also was a beast with 145 yards and a score, and Etienne and Metcalf added a combined 169 yards. The lack of touchdowns was the difference, though. Also, it must be noted that highlighted players Josh Jacobs and Kyron Williams had the feared game of not doing enough. Jacobs had 80 yards, which was actually his best yard total of the season, but he certainly is not looking like a second-round pick. Williams had 65 yards, but that output was just enough to put Green Acres over the edge on Monday for the win. The expected touchdown regression did occur, though, with Williams failing to reach the end zone after scoring 4 in the first 2 weeks.
Yo, what's up, Anthony? How's it going? Yeah, dude, got the game of the week. Dude, it was pretty nice. It was a close game, pretty high scoring. All I can say is I finally beat him. Took an excellent effort from my defense. I lost game 1 when the Cowboys defense scored 40 points for risky business. So it was nice. It was nice to get an amazing defensive performance.
Overall, it was a game where Green Acres now sits at 2-1 in a 3-game tie for first place record-wise in the wetlands of a road division. The defending champs, on the other hand, are 0-3 despite one of the better performances of the week and the season. No defending champion has ever been in this position, by the way, winless after 3 weeks. The elite Mother Tuckers will try to become the 4th team to start 0-3 and still make the playoffs, though another division title will be tough. The divisional race will still be watched even as we enter out of division play. Anything can happen, especially with most of us an injury away from struggles. But let's see how the other matches shook out from this past week in the best of the rest. Siamese Dreamcats took advantage of an off week by risky business as the hosts won 103.68 to 87.64. Kirk Cousins is playing like one of the best fantasy quarterbacks of the season as he had 367 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also, with Aaron Jones out for injury, the Dreamcats were given a gift with the Bears sucking so bad that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was able to also reach the end zone. The Eagles' defense also stepped up and proved to be the difference, outscoring the best defense through 2 weeks in the Cowboys, who melted down against Arizona for -1 points. Both teams are 2-1, tied with Green Acres in the division. Moving on to the Flatlands of Scale, host Loki Lebowski Thor had a great one, but not great enough, falling 129.98 to 116.08, and also losing wide receiver Mike Williams for the year. Mahomes, who decimated the Bears for 3 touchdowns, also found Taylor Swift's boy toy for that coveted 12-point connection. Kenneth Walker found the end zone twice, and the Chiefs' defense embarrassed the poorly coached and lack of talent Bears. Only 2 players under 10 points overall for Banditos here, and just a solid performance. Lebowski Thor is getting production out of beast wide receiver Justin Jefferson, who's the top overall pick in the draft, with his 50-plus yard score. But losing Williams and J.K. Dobbins earlier so far is not what anyone wants to see on their squad. Banditos remain the lone undefeated team at 3-0 and has a 2-game lead in the division, trying to go from worst to first. Lebowski Thor falls to 1-2. It was another week to forget for my visiting Gashkia Slews, who fell to host the Clash at Demon Head 88.42 to 72.22. This one did come down to Monday night, but Jamar Chase finally broke out for 141 yards for the clash at Demon Head, while Devontae Smith had a lackluster 28 yards. Amari Cooper's 116 yards and a score, and Pacheco's touchdown were also key for the clash at Demon Head. Josh Allen outdueled Jared Goff as well for a slight edge. The Browns' defense, recording 5 sacks and allowing just 3 points, was the highlight for my slews. Both of us are now 1-2. Lastly, in the Peaks of Alt division, the host multiple scoregasms squeaked out a win over Remember the Titans, 89.56 to 82.38. The 49ers defense with 2 sacks and a pick, and Jake Elliott with 3 field goals helped immensely. Damian Pierce and James Cooks combined 171 yards and a score, also were key. The Shoes of Swift looks like a legit pickup for Remember the Titans, and Lamar Jackson looked like his old self with 2 rushing scores and 101 yards on the ground to go with his passing yards. But in the end, not enough elsewhere. Both teams are 2-1, but both teams are probably getting nervous with who else is 2-1 in division. And that would be the Stellar Bitches, who hosted Air Jordan and caused him nightmares in a 145.94 to 80.26 beatdown. Look out, but the Stellar Bitches are looking like the best team in the league right now, even with Banditos Del Rio still undefeated. Raheem Mostert went off for 142 yards and 4 touchdowns. Keenan Allen was an absolute monster with 215 yards and a 49-yard passing touchdown. Devontae Adams had 172 yards and 2 scores, and there were 29 combined points from the kicker and defense positions. All that with just 3 points from the quarterback, Daniel Jones. Simply amazing. James Conner was solid for Air Jordan with 116 yards and a score, but not much else to do. But forget this one. The Stellar Bitches don't even remember their week 1 loss at this point. They are 2-1 and looking pretty good. Air Jordan is 0-3 and will need to string some wins together very soon. Based on some of the top scores this week, those of us 1-2 and 0-3 are in real trouble unless we can turn things around quickly. But this is when those questions come too. Do we stay with what we have? Do we stay with what we drafted with? Can we trust it? Do we attempt to make trades, which has happened for several teams so far? Can it even help? Can we even find enough help on the waiver wire at this point before things get too bad? The out-of-division slate of games is the best time to find out. And we're going to be finding out soon. And I'll be showing you the next previews coming up tomorrow, including our big game of the week that includes teams in this very situation that I was just talking about. And of course, we'll get all the lore from the caves of Brone Diomir. Before you go, check out the updated standings. Until next time, salut.